Hey folks, Fernando doing another video for the channel. In this case, talking about a very important topic, which is food storage. What kind of food that we buy and stock up on in case of emergencies? One of the more important things you could possibly do. It affects pretty much all aspects of preparedness. Whatever is going on, one of the crucial things you want to stock up on is food. A large amount of food will get you through some of the worst crises. It always ends up being the thing that becomes more problematic. May that be a snowstorm and you're isolated for a long-ish period of time. Some people don't even have a couple days worth of food in their houses. In more extreme cases, more serious long-term events, even more so. In a nutshell, you want to have a lot of food stored, and 6 months, a year, there's really not a whole lot that you can do in terms of having too much food. You will always end up having to eat eventually, no matter what's going on. So, all that being said, what is it you're storing? What is it that you should be looking into? Well, the typical food that has good long-term storage, dry pasta would be one of the classics. Now, what is it that you should be looking into specifically when buying these food items? Well, you have to learn how to read the ingredients, and here is where Barillla comes into place. A lot of people assume this is like fancy Italian pasta. Fancy, not so much. More of a staple, yes, in Italy and all over the world. Yeah, Barillla is a very well-known company. Now, is this the high quality, true Italian pasta that some people assume it is? Well, Google it up. No, it's not. It's often not even made in Italy or from pasta that has an Italian origin at all. I mean, it's not just about you could see a little Italian flag. That does not mean that is either made in Italy or that the wheat used just to make that pasta comes from Italy either. It just is just a flag. And here's where you could go into the importance of learning how to read the ingredients of whatever it is that you're eating, and even more so whatever it is that you're stocking up in larger quantities. You want to learn to read and understand what you have here in the ingredients of the food that you're consuming. Many times you assume things that are just incorrect. The famous event that happened with that little Gerber baby food that had huge amounts of heavy metal, even beyond the basic industry standards that were allowed, that was just poisoning your kid with something that people assumed that because it was from a well-known manufacturer, from a well-known company, that is safe. Well, not so much. Now, pasta tends to be quite simple. There's not a whole lot going on with it. But if you're buying something, at least you should know that you're getting what you're paying for. And in case of Barillla, it's not always made in Italy. The way in which you can tell that is if you check here the origin. So let me see if I can get the camera to focus there with a little bit of luck. Okay, so there it is. So where is this coming from? Italian produced. So the ingredients: durum, wheat, semola, water. Okay, super simple. That's what I want in my pasta. Now, what is the origin of said wheat? Italy is produced in plants indicated with the letter F, EU, that is European Union, and non-European Union for the letters A or MU. So it's not always made in Italy with Italian Italian origin wheat. It may be pasta that's coming from China or God knows where. You don't know. You can only know that it's not from Italy. And that's what a lot of people have assumed. So unless it says letter F, it's not in Italy. And when we go here, when we look around, and there it is. The letter is not F, the letter is A, meaning not Italy, meaning somewhere cheap where I got a large supply of wheat for my pasta. All right, guys, is this a deal breaker or not? I mean, for me, no, it is. I will eat this and feel somewhat safe and happy with it. Now, I can tell you, if you want to get the true, real deal Italian pasta, probably this is not your best bet. Unless it says, as it said there, F, right? There's other brands that are a little bit more expensive, but in my opinion, stuff like the Checo, these are made in Italy with Italian grains, and yes, there is a difference for just very little margin. I mean, it costs twice as much or so, but you can tell the taste is completely different. This is much nicer pasta, and yeah, you can tell if you have a bowl of pasta, this stuff or this stuff, you will be able to tell that there's a difference in texture and in quality. At least in our case, we were surprised by that because we assumed, it's all kind of the same. No, it's not. Anyway, guys, learn and inform yourself. Learn to read the labels. Be prepared, and knowledge is a big part of preparedness. For the rest of the stuff, you have my books talking about knowledge and preparedness, 3 survival skills, where I talk a lot of the practical aspects of survival and preparedness, and surviving the economic collapse, based on my first-hand experience surviving the economic collapse in Argentina. See you in our next video. Take care.